Marie Antoinette's scandal explained from the moment her name was spoken in the streets of Paris. It carried a strange mixture of fascination, resentment, and rumor because long before her fate was sealed, Marie Antoinette had already been judged in the public imagination as a symbol of excess secrecy and betrayal. And it was one scandal in particular that transformed her from an unpopular queen into a hated figure whose reputation could no longer be repaired. Marie Antoinette arrived in France as a teenager, a foreign princess expected to secure peace through marriage, and from the beginning she stood apart. Not because of a single action, but because she represented everything ordinary people feared about power that was distant, luxurious, and unaccountable. The court at Versailles was a closed world, ruled by ritual and appearance, and the queen's role within it was both visible and strangely inaccessible, creating a perfect environment for misunderstanding. As years passed, economic hardship spread across the country while the royal court remained insulated from daily struggle, and resentment quietly grew, fed not by clear evidence but by stories repeated often enough to feel true. Against this backdrop, a diamond necklace became the spark that ignited long-simmering distrust. The necklace itself was extraordinary, a massive creation of precious stones designed to impress royalty, so costly and excessive that even the king hesitated to approve its purchase. Marie Antoinette had refused it outright, seeing it as unnecessary and politically dangerous, yet this fact never reached the wider public in any meaningful way. Instead, the necklace existed as a rumor waiting for a story, and into that space stepped a woman who understood how fragile reputation could be. Jeanne de la Motte was a minor noble with a grand sense of entitlement and a deep sense of grievance, convinced that the world owed her more than it had given. She recognized that access to the idea of the queen could be as powerful as access to the queen herself. By presenting herself as someone favored by Marie Antoinette, Jeanne inserted herself into the social imagination of the court, exploiting the distance between the monarchy and those who wished to believe in its secrets. Her target was a powerful cardinal, a man eager to regain royal favor after years of disapproval, whose desire to believe made him vulnerable. Jeanne claimed that the queen wished to acquire the necklace discreetly, away from public scrutiny, and supported this claim with forged letters that carried just enough familiarity to seem authentic. The illusion was reinforced by a staged encounter in the gardens of Versailles, where a woman dressed to resemble the queen spoke only a few words in the dark, allowing imagination to fill in what evidence could not provide. The meeting was brief, ambiguous, and entirely false, yet it achieved its purpose because it allowed the cardinal to convince himself that he was acting on royal instruction. When the necklace was handed over, it vanished almost immediately, dismantled and sold in pieces far from the court that had given it meaning. What followed was not the exposure of a clever fraud, but something far more damaging. When the jewelers demanded payment, the scandal erupted into public view, and Marie Antoinette found herself accused of a scheme she had never imagined. Her shock and denial mattered little, because the story aligned too closely with what many already believed about her. In a society where access to truth was limited and trust in authority was eroding, perception became more powerful than fact. The decision to make the affair public, rather than resolving it quietly, proved disastrous. The arrest of the cardinal was intended to demonstrate royal authority and innocence, but instead it suggested chaos and internal corruption. The subsequent trial became a spectacle, one in which the queen's character was implicitly judged even when she was not formally accused. When the court cleared the cardinal of wrongdoing, it appeared to confirm the worst suspicions of the public, that powerful institutions protected themselves while ordinary people bore the consequences. Jeanne de la Motte was eventually punished, but by then the damage was complete, because punishment could not undo belief. Pamphlets, cartoons, and whispered stories spread rapidly, portraying Marie Antoinette as manipulative, immoral, and indifferent to suffering, not because of evidence, but because the scandal gave shape to existing anger. The necklace affair did not create hostility toward the monarchy, but it concentrated it, turning abstract frustration into a personal narrative centered on the queen. In the years that followed, as political and economic crises deepened, this narrative remained fixed, resistant to correction. When revolution came, it did not need to prove Marie Antoinette's guilt in the affair. It only needed to remember it. The scandal had taught the public how to see her, and once seen that way, she could not be seen differently. In the end, the irony was complete, because Marie Antoinette was innocent of the crime that destroyed her reputation, yet powerless to escape its consequences, demonstrating how in times of instability, truth alone is rarely enough to survive, and how a single story, once believed, can reshape history more decisively than any documented fact.